I'm live. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Am I on the internet? I think so. I look like I'm a panel in this comic. Can anybody hear me? Is the audio on? Hey Jason, how's it going? Good morning. What am I coloring today? This is Hack/Body Bags number 1. Excuse me. All right. I think can someone confirm that you can hear me and see me? Anyone? Bueller. Confirmed on both counts. All right, good. Live on the Webernets. All right. Welcome to the Wednesday stream again. My name is Kurt. I am a comic book colorist. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I don't know why I said that. What if I just came in one stream and I'm like, hey guys, welcome. Smash buttons. What if we did that? Okay, maybe not. So so welcome everybody. This is this Hack/Body Bags number 1, written by Mr. Tim Seeley, drawn by Stefano Caselli. Click buttons. And you should try it like an old radio style DJ. We're at the top of the hour, brought to you by Old Spice. that's the ESPN Sports Center voice. Sorry, from 2001. Anyway, clickbait phrases gets followers. That's right. That's why I don't have any. There we go. All right, but no. Okay, so we have what do we have here? All right, this I'm actually not going to talk about the story very much because I don't know how much of this we want to spoil or anything. But this I'm going to go through all these layers here and figure out what's going on. And I gotta say, I'm working with an assistant again on this book, and this is really the first time that I have ever done that, like a true assistant. What is the difference in a flatter and an assistant, you ask? Well, the difference is a flatter does this, and the colors are like, you know, completely random. They look more like this actually when I get them. They're just random. They're there for selection purposes. You guys watching know all of this if you've been here a while. An assistant, in my definition and in most definitions that I'm aware of in this industry, does a little bit more. And in this case, what I've had someone do is I've set up some palettes, and I sent them some palettes, and I said, make those flats these colors, or reference this page, or reference this temperature, or look at this scene and this, use these, you know. I'm directing traffic on on the actual base colors. And at first I didn't know if it was going to be worth it or not, because, you know, it's like, well, sometimes it doesn't take that long to change base colors, sometimes it seems to take a while. I have found it to be very helpful for me personally, and I'm going to keep doing it as long as page rates continue to support a little bit of that. So so there you go. So that's why, like, so now when I get the pages and I'm ready to go, we're here already. So I don't have to spend all that time going, oh, well, Cassie's hair is this color and her skin is this color and this guy is this color. It saves more time than I thought it would. Good morning, Mr. Woods. Good morning, everybody. So what do we have here? So at the bottom, we have panels. We don't need this. Don't need this. We have flats. I have the base colors, which have been partially adjusted. There's still stuff to be, yeah, there's still stuff to be adjusted. The posters on the wall, blah, blah, blah. And then what is that? What is this? Oh, yeah. So, what is that? I guess maybe because the poster, I'm trying to figure out what my flatter did. I think because the posters were on a separate layer, they flatted them on a separate layer. I think is what happened. I'm trying to decide if I need all of this on separate layers. I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what this is that I'm just going to put that down there. We don't need that. And I'm going to merge. I want to merge that? Sorry, I know this is enthralling, but I didn't expect to have to figure out what this is. All right. And we have inks layers. I'm going to put them all on a transparent layer. And we have some action lines on a separate layer. We have posters on a separate layer. All right, I just want to see this without any colors for a second because this is a dense panel. But Cassie is grabbing this guy. She's hooking the horns around his injury there. We got a little inlet circle. Yeah, this is meant to be a really... Oh, that's a pillow up there flying in the air. Alrighty. Alright. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta look at it without all that other crap. Let's see, do that. But how are y'all? How are things? Long time no watch. Hey Dennis, how's it going? You're enthralled. All right, good. Yeah, this is super exciting. So this is the same scene over here. We kind of established this little scene here with, and I think what I want to do. So initially on this page on the left, can you guys see? You can see most of that. I sort of established that we're in like a cool environment here. Really the only light is from the TV he's watching. And that way when she busts in from outside, you know, flip to a very different color, flip to that bright orange, which immediately helps it look like she's, you know, kind of illuminating the room. And he's reacting. And so what I'm thinking is I wonder if we could get some really intense light from the doorway, maybe like sort of framing it up from the bottom. I think that might look good. We'll see. We'll see. And I'm gonna change some of these. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna be smarter about this. All right, so here's a quick little pro tip. The guy that was helping me with this, he was looking at this page, my assistant on this, and he was looking at, like, this is a very dense page, and if your job was to correctly color all the things a local color, it would seem very daunting. And so he was worried about being able to finish, like, this working at all, blah, blah, blah. And so what I told him, I said, look, get the character the right color, and then get the furniture and the walls and all of the big stuff the right color or close to the right color. And then like everything else, all the little stuff, all the books on the shelves, the toys, everything else, like take like the average color of the environment. Like in this case, it was like a cool blue. Put it on a new layer on top of all the other little crap. And then just bring the opacity of that down. And what that does, it'll take all those crazy colors that don't mean anything and we'll sort of tie them together a little bit. And, you know, it's meant to be environment, right? It's meant to be background. So as soon as he found out he could do that, then it saved him a whole lot of time. So that helped a lot. I hope I can ink like this soon. Me too, because I certainly cannot. But anyway, so we're using this this page. We're just actually I just wanted to keep that open. I'm not really gonna pick specific colors, but just vibe wise, I want to make sure I'm not drifting too far away. The other thing I'm gonna do here, and this is a good trick when you have things like right now in this image, there's some posters in the background, and these posters, the colors don't really mean anything. They're just kind of random. So what I will do is select those things, all right? So select all that stuff that is going to be, that I want to change. And make sure that I don't have anything else selected, like Cassie and all this other stuff. All right, so now just the posters are selected, and these posters have, I'll intensify this to show you what they are. Like, so the posters are just like random colors, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new correction layer that is a gradient map, and choose something like, there's a default like sepia, I think, or maybe one of these. Yeah. So now my poster that had all these insane colors that you're like, oh, I got to change the green and the pink and the, they're all just kind of their own little palette now, right? And anyway, I'll probably push and pull them around some more toward the end, probably. Yeah, I think... yeah, I just want to get some value shifts in there, but that's about it. And that is just a white layer. We can delete that. How are things, people? How are y'all doing? So I want to see... I'm thinking. I'm sorry to be thinking. If I... all right, we're going to get rid of that. And we'll do that. And let's see, I invert that, choose the rest of that panel. I just want to see what this looks like. I reserve the right to change my mind. Yeah, I think instead of doing that, I'm going to fill the whole panel with that cool color, and then just have them lit from the door with some really intense light. I think that'll look cool. This is a very, like, the original that I'm like loosely basing this style on is a very like It's a very intense looking book. And that needs to be under there. So yeah, I'm using that overlay to sort of cool everything off for quote unquote like the shadows of this, let's say. And can you guys hear the clicking in the background from my AC? I'm sorry if you do. It's very noticeable in my head, but hopefully that's not annoying. Because it's hot. And this is another good example of that that concept of like not coloring things too dark, because like even panel 2 relative to panel 1 feels so much darker. But if you pick these colors, you know, we're like halfway down the color picker, right? You know, so yeah, even that like quote unquote shadow, it's brighter than 50%. It's all relative, people. It's all relative. Now I don't want the red circle being affected by that. And I wonder what these action lines would look like if we put a... Do we like them? Do we like them bright? Or do we like them dark? Let's leave them white for now. Maybe we'll change it. Doing awesome. It was good to catch you live. The book you colored finally came out. Yay! You sent another portfolio out. You missed my live videos. Well, here I am. Thank you very much for coming by, Dennis. Good to see you again. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and we'll get back to drawing my book at some point. But I've got more coloring work than I know what to do with right now. So here we are. Let's see. What did I do? What color is that over there? That's like a warm... Let me see what I'm doing here. I think that was the color I was using for the TV. So I might do a little bit. I'm going to label this TV light. But yeah, I think what we need is intensity here. So do I... Sorry, I'm thinking. Maybe I save that yellow. I think I'm gonna save that yellow. We're gonna save that for some rim lights or something. I think. Oh, I'm also going to make sure that this is in CMYK. And yeah, that looks a little bit better. Got no work, just got a headache. Nice. You're doing good. Got a gig coloring some cards for the Power Rangers game. Look at that. That's awesome, dude. That's very cool. Yeah, I think doing like this sort of subtle, well, it's not even really that subtle, but doing like a more subtle um, light like I'm doing now will really help when I add those like bright rim lights. Or at least that's what I foresee here. We'll see what happens. I can't have the whole plan before I start. Who's got time for that? I'm trying to think of the only time that I. What book was that I actually did like a little color script? Dark One. That's what it was. I was trying to. This only time that I've ever like ahead of time like um felt the need to do something. It's like when you're working on a Brandon Sanderson book. It's like, you know what? I think I do have time. The other thing I'm going to do, I need to bring some of his skin tone out because so this hard light layer is like super neutralizing the skin. And I'm going to take some of this away at the end anyway, but I'm leaving it here for now so that when I back it off, it'll work. But because skin is brown or beige or orange or whatever, when you put a cool light over it, it really like it causes it to sort of neutralize into gray. And so what I'll do is sort of paint that out. Whoops. Just like that, except on a different layer in a second. So like her skin tone, his skin tone. Actually, I'm gonna put a mask on that layer in case I decide I want to bring this back. But just lightly painting a little bit of that out, it instantly like warms that up quite a bit. And I need to know, I need to see this guy. That weapon she has is his necklace. And I don't know what color it is. By the way, yeah, if you search for body bags on the internet, the comic is not the first thing that will come up, by the way. I'll have to ask Tim if he knows where this character appears in the old one. I think it's number 3. Well, I'll go back later and look at that. Do 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 do. All right, what else? Oh, sorry, I forgot to talk. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm streaming. Anything about Dark One Book 2 yet? I don't know. I haven't heard anything, but I might not hear anything until it's upon us. Who knows? Hmm. I'm wondering. I'm wondering how I can get that. Maybe if we did like, I'm trying to figure out what the yellow light. I think I'm gonna do it down here to sort of tie that back to that first page just a little bit, and it'll also help sort of frame up the bottom a little bit, I think. And plus, when you've got like a like complementary colors are really often used in intense scenes and fight scenes and things like that. Yeah, I think I like that. In the zone. Yeah, that's right. Sorry. But yeah, I'm enjoying color in this book. Anytime you get to work with someone this ridiculously good at drawing, it's so much fun. The job is so much easier. It's incredibly easier when you don't have to think about like, well, how do I get this shape to? It's just there. It's all there. You know, I mean, and what I mean is like when I talk about it being easier, it's like there's nothing like fudged on this guy's face. It's like I can trace every wrinkle of skin like around his nose. Like it's like what? Yep, but it's an absolute joy. Absolute joy. And a lot of times Stefano goes so far as, you know, he'll, I don't really see it on this guy, but a lot of times on like Cassie's face and things, he'll really lightly indicate these little lines for his shadows. If I come across one, I'll show you. Um, but yeah, there's so much detail. And for those of you that always ask, how do you keep your colors the same from one page to the next? Well, you do what I just did. You go get it. You go to the other page and you get it. Do you use custom scripts in Krita or just default tools? This is Clip Studio Paint, but no, it's just all keyboard shortcuts. No thought bubble this year, but thank you for asking. I'm hoping next year maybe, but who knows? I'm not going back till I have a finished book to bring with me, like my book. So, absolutely, I would love to come back, but everybody there makes their own books, and I felt like I felt like, oh, I have to have my own if I'm coming back. I know that's not really true, but I'm trying to do that though. Yeah, what a lot of people think is like hacking or something in Clip Studio, or it's just a lot of it's keyboard shortcuts basically. And my left hand, I'm trying to decide if I want to do what I'm doing or not. Does that need that? Or is that enough? I think I'm just gonna, well, maybe we'll paint out the center. Let's see. There we go, like a little spotlight thing. Does good artwork affect the level of inspiration of a colorist? Yes. It's not close. Yes. Makes a huge difference. Like, I've worked on books where it became my responsibility to show that where the characters are, because there was so little background drawn that, you know, it was like, yeah, it just wasn't fun. And so yeah, anytime you have an artist that is absolute just pinnacle of what an artist is, like Mr. Caselli here, it's totally different. It's totally different. How this colorist uses his hands will shock you. Yeah, I talked about this a little last week, but yeah, like my left hand stays on the home row. Like I've moved all the shortcuts over there. So I never have to look at the keyboard. I don't have to search around for what I'm looking for. Like it's all right there on that hand, and I really don't have to think about it. Kind of jumping around, but sorry, I'm just in a jumping around mode. Have you used Clip Studio much on mobile? You think about getting it for your tablet so you can move away from Sketchbook? I like the new, like Clip Studio basically has like a mode now for iPads. Like prior to that, I would have said no. It kind of crams everything in a little too much for me. Um, but yeah, like it's really nice. Like they basically have like a Procreate ripoff mode, or whatever, or like it looks more like Fresco or something. That's like simpler with all the stuff moved to the side. So I think you said once the color quality can at best match the line art quality. Bruh, did I say that? That's very poetic. This sounds like something I would say. Um, but no, you're right. Like a colorist can take mediocre art up like maybe a level, but it's not gonna bring it up. It's not gonna make it twice as good. But like bad art, it's not doing anything for. Like, but this is like, to me, this is almost as good as comics get. Okay, so for me, it's like this becomes a cakewalk, because it's just you're enhancing what's already there, period. You know, it's like, I mean, yes, I'm making decisions and yes, I'm like doing some stuff here, but like most of it's on the page already, Um, so yeah, it really is a completely different job when the artwork is this good. At least in my opinion, it feels that way. But yeah, the other thing that you'll notice is that I'm not necessarily keeping the same exact color scheme panel to panel, even on this page. you know, um, it's like going in on the detail panels and adding like more detailed shadows and lighting because the scale's different. It's just something else to keep in mind. Like in the bigger panels with less detail, your colors should match. Um, whoops. As someone who uses clip on mobile, you never use the simple mode. I've gotten used to the other version. Yeah, I mean, it's just my opinion. Um, on my iPad, I'm typically using Fresco or Procreate right now, and so the old clip interface looked rough. It was just like so intense. um, yeah, this guy's got a bunch of ugly scars and whatnot. So I'm gonna tint some of this. I'm gonna tint some of this, some kind of color. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. And with stuff like this, especially with like character introductions, And people that know this story will know what happened to this guy, but I'm definitely trying to bring a little attention to this because it looks like that was the one of the points of this panel. Make sure we get all this nastiness in here. And even this is something that's like super subtle, but I've noticed that it makes a difference. Is to so like for example in this panel, like there's not a lot happening in the panel. It's just a guy, and you can see that Cassie is holding his face down, and you know probably doesn't feel great. Let me fill this in. But you see how he's facing this panel, like so. Like here's his obviously like the focus is his face. By having even like what Stefano has done in this little panel is still like, what do they call that? The rule of thirds. 1, 2, 3, 4. So like, you know, the act, well, you can't really see what I just drew there, but the action in this panel kind of falls in that spot. And it's why I darkened this part of it a little bit more than this part. With this being brighter, it sort of pulls you more in the direction of where his head is in the panel than back here. So it's subtle, but those kind of things can help direct the eye around. Questions, comments, concerns, everybody, everybody following, everybody an expert? You guys good? What is the biggest challenge you face mostly as a colorist? I mean, the challenges are rarely creative. It's, you know, it's timing, it's deadlines, it's do I have enough hours in the day, like that kind of thing. Is this what one of your massage session looks looks like? Yes, yes, exactly. Exactly. I need to mask off this. There's some of these poster where the action lines are splashing over. There we go. Lovely. I was like, why does that panel look weird? That's why. The biggest challenge is a lack of recognition for what they do. Maybe. It's better than it used to be, believe me. At least we get our name on the book sometimes. On the cover, I mean. Let's see. Is that a light bulb? It is. But it wasn't on page 1, was it? Was it on? I don't even see it. Oh well. It doesn't look like it's on to me. Okay, this page looks pretty good. Um, I think I like that page. Let me see if I got another page. Oh, I guess I can. Yeah, I can announce this. It's my life. But no, I'm very happy to announce that. Wait a minute. Where is that? Okay. I'm gonna be working with the VA. If you're not familiar with the VA, that is the Veterans Affairs, which is like around here we've got a big hospital system that takes care of our veterans, military, foreign military, all that. And a couple of years ago, more than a couple of years ago, they I'm not going to be able to talk about this and break this page down at the same time, but yeah, they did a study several years ago and saw tremendous results with craniosacral therapy, which is one of the specialties that I do. And so yeah, my schedule for starting in about 2 weeks. I was sort of, I don't want to say struggling, but as a new massage therapist, it's very hard to sort of get things going because you're new, and it's just like any new business. It's a snowball. You're trying to push down and hope that it builds up, and all of a sudden, like, I have more massages scheduled than I've done in the first 2 months in my career. So I'm very happy to have that working for me. And I'm excited because I have a soft spot for veterans anyway. But yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited that it seems to be well, it seems to be some patients that need it, which is what I needed. So, let's see. I thought VA is in voice actor. Nope, different thing. But, all right. So, I need to organize. So, here's, if you're wondering, like, why there's all these weird layers at the beginning, I didn't really do anything with the layers when I sent them to my assistant. And so everything is still there from the artist as well. And they don't delete any layers and stuff like that. So I'm going to run through this real quick and see. Let's see. We don't need these. I'm going to set the flats as a reference layer. Here's our base colors. And there's like a hologram or something in the air here. That's what you're seeing. I'm going to have to make that look right. What is this? What is that? I don't know. Let's merge it down. And oh, there's a clipping mask up here with stuff on it. I get it. I get it. So that needs to be merged first, and then, yeah, now we're good. And then we have ink. And then this is the holograms. The inks for the holograms. And that is more ink. I can just merge. Yeah, we'll merge that. There we go. That's a lot cleaner. Let's see. Anything to help vets is great. Congratulations. Hope that works out for everyone. Yeah, absolutely. it's honestly for them it's a relatively cheap service. I mean, like for the VA, I mean, you're going in and paying whatever $100 an hour for a massage versus like, you know, anything else in the medical industry. You know, it's so it works out for everybody. But do you get a script for coloring or just the artwork? No. I get the artwork and the script, but it's not a color script. It's the script. If there was a color script, I would be the one to have to make it. But I don't do that. All right. Let me see what this... I want to see what this script says, actually, by the way. Page 12... An image stored in his eyes shows up in the air. It shows a bunch of names. I'm not going to tell you just in case it matters. No, it does matter. Spoilers. And we're focusing on the photo. Got the necklace. And that guy. All right. So, interesting. So I guess it's here I need to figure out how we want to do this hologram. I think it's important that we see these character colors, at least for some of these characters, because some of them are recognizable. I think one of them is new. I think this guy is new. I'm trying to see if I could do like a very neato sort of like her face is half coming out of this thing so that we don't cover up her whole head. Yeah, that's I think what I'm gonna try to do. The other thing I'm thinking is the good old fashioned scan lines. Do we do the good old fashioned scan lines effect? It's a digital screen in a comic book. I think it's a rule. Where are my scan lines? Let's see. I was doing a there it is. I was doing a consult for a guy. I forget that I have that in my Twitter bio. It's like digital color, comic color consultant, just in case somebody calls me. You know, like 3 times a year, I'll do one of those. Where is this? Scanning. I'm looking. There it is. Yeah, you don't know if a screen's a screen without these on there, right? Impossible. Have a good day. Thanks. Yep. Take care. This might be a tough question to answer, but when do you know the work you've been asked to do is too much? Like they ask you to do other things a colorist doesn't normally do? That's when it's too much. Is it things that a colorist doesn't normally do? Yes, I'll do it. Is the answer no? No, I won't, or pay me more. That's how that works. All right, so I'm going to put a clipping mask on. Well, no, let's not do that yet. First, did I make these scan lines? Probably not. I don't even. I'm pretty sure I got these off a Creative Commons website about 15 years ago. Something like that. Sorry if this is giving anybody a headache. It's giving me a headache. I'm just lining this up. Jeez, yeah, this is really, I gotta get this. Let me do that. There we go. Whew. Can I clip that? Yeah. And let's see. How big is this thing? All right, so I'm gonna copy that. And yeah, I'm just trying to make sure they actually follow the contours of the screen. There's nothing worse to me than like a texture that doesn't fit right. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do at the moment. And also make sure to check the scale of things. Like I see a lot of textures where it's like it's somebody that's like, oh, it's a grass texture, and then the grass is like 18 inches, you know, it's meant to be this tall, and it looks like it's whatever. Like, yeah, make sure your texture scale is right. So now I think I've got all of that done. We can select all the screens, and I think just mask that off. Lovely. And now our screens look like this. And we can even turn this down more, because I don't want to like completely overpower this artwork. All right. Let's see. They will track you down now. Yeah, probably so. The other thing I'm going to do, what's on this layer? Nothing? Nothing. So they should all probably be tinted, I'm thinking. And in this room, what do I have? So this room is like blue and yellow. So what color? Here's the super pro way of doing that, is you just put the color in, and then you just like slide the slider around until you go, oh, that looks okay. Yeah, I think I like the slightly green look. Yeah. So, oh, and you can definitely see how, like, here's Cassie, right? So you can see how he drew this in a way that he's expecting her face to still show up there. So, and I would too. So what I'm going to do is select Cassie here. We're doing advanced coloring today, guys. We're really doing some cool stuff. No, it is actually fun to do, like, learn how to figure this stuff out. I enjoyed trying to see. So the smart thing to do, I'm going to fill this with a color down here just so I don't have to make this selection again. I'm going to put all of the hologram, which is actually all of these 4 layers, into a group. And let's see if this works first. Are they all in the group? They're all in the group. The inks, the scan lines, the color shift, and the base colors. So now I'm going to put a mask on the group. Did you know you can do that? All right. So now that I've got my mask on the group, I'm going to go back and grab that selection of Cassie again. And on the mask, we're going to paint it out a little bit. And now it sort of looks like it's popped up right across her face, right? I think that kind of looks cool. Is it too much taken off? Maybe it is. I think I'm gonna dial this back a little bit so that it's really just her face and left shoulder come forward. And that will kind of sell that the other half of her is behind this thing, right? Best pro tip of truth ever. Which one was that? I don't know. Yeah, I think that looks good. Yeah, I dig it. So now I just need to make it a little bit clearer that this is coming out of his eyes. You can see here how he's touching his head like Professor Xavier. I guess he's like activating something here in his head. So, I'm gonna do that kind of thing, I think. Minus Cassie. Minus everything in the folder. And let's see what this looks like. Don't know if I'd like that or if we need it all. We probably don't need it all the way. I think that'll work. And really, this panel is all about what's on the screen, right? And so I'm kind of framing it up by simplifying the bottom so that it sort of acts as a like the frame for everything else on in the page. And let's see. And that's all the background. I'm gonna grab that color from the other page again. And I'm going to bring down that color on these holograms just a little bit to bring back a little bit more of the local color. I'm wondering what it would look like if we change the color of the lines on this. I want to test this because I don't know. Let's see. It might just lose too much contrast. I don't know. I guess my biggest issue is that it doesn't appear to glow right now. Not as much as I would like. Can you clip? You can clip to a group. Okay, I assumed you could, but I wasn't sure. Maybe you can't clip to a group. Let's see. Yeah, I think it loses too much contrast, so I'm going to get rid of that. Do. Yeah, this sort of gives it a little bit more of a... It's like a trick that it's glowing a little bit. And I'm thinking maybe just brightening this thing will help some. Is that the right layer? No. That didn't work. You gotta go. Always a pleasure. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for coming by. How am I doing? What time is it? I think this is actually a good stopping spot for me today. I got more work to do on this page, a lot more work to do, but I have something else I need to get to today. I'm hoping, I don't know what my schedule is going to be like next week. I will start drawing my book at some point on here. I just don't know when that's going to be. So any questions or anything before I wrap this up? Thanks a lot for coming by and checking this out and saying hello, and I hope you maybe learned something, maybe. All of my ramblings. But there's discounts on my courses. If you actually want like a step-by-step how to do this kind of stuff, check the links in the description. What else? What else? Like, subscribe, comment, Patreon, join the channel, send a tip, super thanks, super comment, super like. Do all the things. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll see y'all next time. Take care.